So I'm Adam Rogers, I work for Orica. I'm the specialist in emergency management, security and contractor compliance, particularly how that relates to the various requirements of the legislation under both security and emergency management. We're looking after all the access control and pre-qualifications of our contractors on sites. And so at Orica we've been working with particularly Pegasus as one of the Avetta platforms now for 7 or 8 years, so it's well embedded at one of our manufacturing sites. We have over 200 locations, so there's only one site currently using the Avetta platform, but what we've undertaken is a bit of a review of what's available to us in terms of products in order to help manage our pre-qualification system. We've selected Pegasus as being the system of preference, and we're going through a process of trial and then rolling out the use of Pegasus across ultimately all of those 200 locations, so we have much more centralisation of control of our contractor management people and fleets, just so that we've got a really good idea of who's entering the sites, what their competencies are, and we're covering our due diligence requirements for much of the jurisdictions in which we operate. We've got a highly regulated industry, so we have a lot of reporting into the regulators, and they're consistently asking us to demonstrate that we're actually doing everything we can to ensure that we've got both a secure and safe workplace. We're able to do that on the sites where our manufacturing sites, where we have pre-qualification systems of different varieties, but we're not so able to do that where we're working on mine sites or we have smaller manufacturing facilities. So this was really an opportunity to move into that space to ensure that we're meeting the requirements of regulations, that we do have control and understanding of who is entering our sites, and thereby being able to ensure that we've got the due diligence that we require to meet our security and safety obligations. So we undertook a review of the various providers, and we selected Pegasus and the Avetta One system, mainly because of the support that's offered by the call centre and the ability to have systems checked by a third party, so we're not using the administration time from our employees. This really freed up the time so that the people on site can focus on their roles and responsibilities while they're on site and not looking at forward and being faced with situations where we have people arriving on site who haven't met the pre-arrival requirements. By utilising the Avetta system, we're able to have a level of assurance that people arriving are pre-qualified. We've got copies of all their documentation, and the companies they work for very much aligned to the values and the safety credentials that we seek from our providers, and this is all done pre-arrival, pre-engagement with them from a procurement perspective. So when we're going through the process of implementing the Avetta One solution across multiple sites, one of the really valuable attributes that was offered by Avetta was the ability to work with their project team. So bringing people from across their business to support me in the implementation of Avetta across a number of sites. So they've got a project team with a project lead, and they're actually supporting us both in terms of training, in terms of the project coordination, and particularly with the communication to our providers. So I was able to introduce Avetta to our providers, and then the Avetta team and their support team were able to contact the providers and walk them through the registration process and really help in enrolling them and providing all that pre-qualification information.